With the Minnesota Fighting Vikings practice squad set last week and the 2021 season mercifully upon us, we figured now would be a good time to go through the modified practice squad rules that were put into place last year and were so popular that they carried over to 2021. I think they're going to become permanent because they are really good rules. Creates more jobs, so the NFLPA would love that. Plus, you do like the roster flexibility. So let's get into them. Production value. 2021 practice squad rules. 16 players on the squad. Now, the league had voted to expand to 12 and 14 over the next couple years, but I think it's just going to stick at 16. You know, the jump from 10 in 2019 up to 16 in 2020. Go ahead. 6 of the players on the practice squad can have more than 2 accrued seasons in the NFL. It used to be much more limited, and the Vikings do have 5 veterans on the practice squad: Sean Mannion, Amir Abdullah, Dakota Dozier, Ty Smith, as well as cornerback Perry Nickerson. You can protect up to 4 players per week, so 4 players that cannot be poached by other teams and be placed on their 53-man rosters. This week, the Vikings protected running back Amir Abdullah as well as quarterback Sean Mannion, who are probably going to be elevated to the game day roster, and we'll get into that because the Vikings currently only have 2 tailbacks on the 53-man roster in Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison, and I think that Sean Mannion is going to be QB2 for the Vikings the first couple of weeks over Kellen Mond. It just is what it is. And a player can be protected 4 weeks before that protection runs out, and then they can be rostered by other teams. And also, we alluded to, you can elevate 2 players to the game day roster per week. It just skips the paperwork. And now, if you're going to do that, before, you'd have to call the player up from the practice squad. You'd have to have a roster spot open. You'd have to waive the player. They'd have to pass through waivers, and then you can revert them back to the practice squad. So that just skips the paperwork, and player can be elevated twice before he has to go through waivers. You also get 1 extra COVID-related elevation per week, if applicable. So if a player on the 53-man roster goes on a COVID reserve list, you can bring up 1 extra practice squad player to replace them on game day. So that's a recap and run through of the current practice squad rules for the 2021 season. And it does shape how teams are adjusting with their 53-man roster, like we laid out. The Vikings have 23 players on offense, 27 on defense on the 53, which is odd. It's usually a 25-25 or 26-24 split. But the fact that you can elevate practice squad players like they're probably going to do this week with Abdullah and Mannion both offensive, it does make sense. So it's really kind of fun how they are playing games and scooting things around. And here's the Vikings' current practice squad. Now, this is going to shift around a lot. There will be transactions every single week. I wouldn't be shocked if the Vikings bring in and place a kicker on the practice squad, especially if Greg Joseph doesn't just come out and be a nail driver right away. But it is fun to keep up on, where you see these guys coming onto the practice squad. Now they do have a chance to potentially even get in on game day, play some special teams, and get after it as a backup. But we'll see. Season's upon us, baby. Come on, man. Bigger thoughts on our thoughts, recapping the practice squad rules for this season, because there are rules here. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Pull a little something in Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.